Hello and welcome to Odds on Ligue 1, match day 33. Only 2 games left in the French League, and everything is very open. We have 5 teams fighting for the Champions League spots, and everything can happen, Alain Valnegri.
Hello. Yes, everything can happen. Every journey we have some things change, and against relegation for Saint-Etienne it start to be hard because they must won 6 points in the last 2 games and praying to Le Havre don't do any point and maybe only 1 point, and I see that really difficult. But we are here to analyze this journey, and we hope give the best advice to for our audience to choose the best odds.
Well, all the games to be played on Saturday, 9 p.m. local time. So let's analyze everything, guys. Leave your comments, ask any question to Alain Valnegri. He knows everything about the French competition. And now, as Samson is saying, let's make some money. Let's go on with the show. Well, Le Havre, Marseille is the first game we are going to analyze, and this is one of the key games of this match day, because we have Le Havre right now in the bottom 3, 1 point less than Nantes, 2 points less than Angers, and Reims. These are spots of play out, and they are there because they beat Auxerre in the last match day. Their last game is going to be very tough. They are finishing the season with Strasbourg, but Alain, this is also important for 𝐬𝐵𝐺 because right now they are second, but only 2 points away from the 5th spot, so they will lose the European or the Champions League spot, and they drew with Lille. They have an easy game in the last game this season at home against Rennes.
Yes, now is difficult. It's difficult for Le Havre. The limit of Le Havre is the schedule, because they play against 2 teams with the ambition and in competition to go to catch a spot to Champions League. That one maybe can be a point for Saint-Etienne, but Saint-Etienne must to win every game. So Marseille, I think after their lose at the 1 month ago away against Reims, against Monaco, against PSG, Marseille was not in a good moment when they played away, but they're correct that. I think in Lille we saw a good version in Olympique de Marseille catch a very important point, not only to sum 1 point, but especially to quit 1 point to Lille with 1 game less. Marseille still in the second place in this table. Marseille have now the opportunity to win the game against Le Havre to arrive to the last journey in a good position. But good position in the sense they depend about ourselves. Don't win in Le Havre can be really dangerous for Marseille. Le Havre at home, since the beginning of the season, is one of the worst team. Only 11 points is the worst team for the fact, and the best version is away. The winning in Auxerre was important, but against a team without motivation, I think Marseille is really favorite for this game. In fact, I choose Olympique de Marseille winning odds 1.658.
𝐿 thinks Le Havre will nick a goal, so going for both teams to score or over 2.5 goals. Goals here. Let's see if Olympique Marseille don't screw up at the end of the season after spending the whole season as second in the standings. So they must get the win the 3 points here. Next game is Auxerre Nantes. Here we have to look at Nantes. They are still in trouble after losing to Angers. No wins in the last 4, and they are only 1 point from Le Havre. They have this game against Auxerre, nothing to play for, and they finish the season with Montpellier, so they should get safe. Nantes.
Yes, the last season about not is a really historical team in France. For who don't know the history of French football, but since the beginning of the 21st century, Nantes is a normal team. Is a normal team that lose that powder who make the quality of not like the academy that lose that they don't have a really talent to sign player with potential. There have a lot of problem between fans and the president. Is not a good ambient working in Nantes right now, and that one reflecting the results about the team now is, in my opinion, Nantes is really lucky this season. Who Saint-Etienne have a lot of problem when they're played away and they lose.
We are losing Alain Valnegri at the moment, analyzing Nantes against Auxerre. Let's see if we can have him back very soon when he was analyzing this important game for Nantes playing away against Auxerre. Auxerre, remember, they lost to Le Havre in the previous game. Le Havre also fighting against relegation, so it's a good opportunity for Nantes to grab a win and get absolutely safe. Even a draw could be positive for them since they are playing Montpellier in the last game of the season. And of course, they should beat Montpellier, a team so poor that they've only gotten 16 points this season. While we are still looking for Alain Valnegri, we can see these odds for Auxerre Nantes. All the games, by the way, in this penultimate and in the last match day are gonna be played at the very same time, of course. And in Ligue 1 or in French football, we still have remaining the Coupe de France. We have you back, Alain Valnegri.
Yes, I am back. Sorry. Yes, I said not is in a trouble, but not is lucky because the other team are bad in right now. Saint-Etienne, especially away. Le Havre, I think it will be enough to save the category, in spite of is probably one of the saddest team of this Ligue 1. When they played at home, the calendar schedules are difficult. But now, not against Auxerre, not the last game they played against Montpellier. Auxerre, in the last game against Le Havre, was one of the worst game of Le Havre, of Auxerre this season. And now, Auxerre is the last game at Stade de la 𝐵 I think Auxerre made a brilliant season. Auxerre want to catch the position 10 in the table, and Auxerre is favorite, in my opinion, for that game. And I choose Auxerre winning 𝐋𝐞𝐿 odds 2.05.
All right. Next game we are going to analyze is Angers Strasbourg. This is another key game in both sides of the standings. We have Angers 2 points above relegation thanks to the win against Nantes. They finish against Lyon. So their schedule is very tough. They are the underdog here because Strasbourg keep dreaming about playing in Europe after beating PSG in the last game, and Saint-Etienne unbeaten in 12, and they finish with Le Havre. So they have 2 games with teams in the bottom part of the standings. Alain, right now they are 6, but 11 on points with Nice in Champions League spots.
Yes, Strasbourg made a second part of the season really high level. We saw the best version about one of the youngest team in Ligue 1. In the second part, in the last 15 games, Strasbourg made 34 points, only 1 point less than Paris Saint-Germain. It's the second best team in Ligue 1 in the last 15 games. And now the tendency, in my opinion, is I see Strasbourg. If Strasbourg can catch 6 points, in my opinion, Strasbourg will be a Champions League team. And now the destiny is in the hand of Strasbourg. The schedule is 2 games, not easy, but can be catch 6 points against Angers, against Le Havre. Now the question is how there will be manage the pressure, because it's a young team. This team is not the habit to stay in that position in the table, and in my opinion, it will be the key to watch or not Strasbourg in the next Champions League. Angers at home suffer a lot this season, like Le Havre, for example, and Strasbourg is really favorite for this game. I choose Strasbourg winning odds 1.93.
Okay, Strasbourg and over 2.5 goals. Here is my pick. Ian is telling us what a season for Strasbourg. And now one of the best games of this match day, Monaco Olympique Lyon. Monaco third, only 1 point above the fifth after beating Saint-Etienne. And they finish with Lens. And Lyon, they really screw it up against Lens, losing at home. So they lost basically all the options to play in Europe. Next season, they are 3 points away from Strasbourg, and their last game is against Angers. And I don't know, Alain, if without playing European football or Champions League football, Lyon is okay financially for next season.
But that one is a question we will be check after the end of this Ligue 1. In the last 3 journey, in my opinion, is a suicide. Lyon commit a suicide because losing in Saint-Etienne in the derby is really important game. Lose at home against Lost has no ambition this season. With 6 points, with that 6 points, today Lyon should be in the second position in Ligue 1. And now, what is the mind of the player? What is the energy? What is the focus? I think that the team are really hungry right now, because against Lens you can't lose that 3 points, because now Lyon don't depend about himself. In the case of Lyon won his 2 last games, there will be arrived to 61 points. If we check, Marseille will be ahead. I have 61 points. Monaco, if they lose against Lyon and they win the last game against Lens, there will be arrived to 61 points. And after Nice and Lille, and Strasbourg, in the last 2 games, I think they will be catch more than 4 points. And that means there will be arrived to more than 61 points. Lyon, the probability of Lyon arrive to the Champions League after losing against Lens are really poor. Now is, in my opinion, the team in the worst position to catch a Champions League spot. In spite of that, Monaco is in a good moment. Monaco have a lot of quality. We saw in the first leg, Monaco was the only team can be follow the rhythm about the Paris Saint-Germain. But in Christmas, something passed. In Monaco, they have 3 months really difficult. In the last game, so we saw the best version again, and Monaco is favorite for this game. But in spite of that, I think Lyon will be compete. Both teams have quality, and is the surprise and the draw of the week for me is a risk, but the odds are so interesting. I choose Monaco Lyon draw odds 4.14.
Okay, draw, both teams to score also. Mustafa, limited benefits, Lyon done and dusted after the horrible game last week. It was really a screw up for Lyon losing against Lens and almost losing all the chances to go to the Champions League and even to Europe after an okay season, I would say, especially with that Europa League run ended at Old Trafford. Next game, Nice. Very important, this one for the away team for Nice in Champions League spots. And it's a must win after beating Reims, PSG, and Angers. In the last games, they are finishing against Brest. So they have a great chance, Alain, to go to the Champions League. Nice, if they are able to win in Reims. Reims have nothing to play for, but still it's never easy to win at Roison Park.
Yes, and in the last 2 months we saw not a good version, but a better version about Rennes. The market in January and 𝗵𝗵𝗿𝗍 signing in the bench was a good decision from the board. Now the ambition for Rennes for the last 2 games arrived to the 10th position in the table. And they have only 3 points less than Auxerre. It's one of the baddest surprise since the beginning of the season. Rennes. We wait more about this team, young team with a lot of talent, beautiful and brilliant academy, but this season was not the season, and there will be build something strongest for the next season. Nice arrive with a lot of ambition. Nice is really near to arrive to the Champions League to avoid the playoff, because Nice made the playoff last a few seasons ago, and they lose against Napoli, and Nice want to avoid the playoff. For that, you must win the last 2 games. And Rennes, Brest, 2 teams without ambition, without motivation to finish the best way this season, because they don't catch a European spot. It's a risk, but I think Nice is able to go to Rennes to winning, in spite of normally Nice in Rennes suffer a lot in the last season. We see Nice with some problem in the last 2 seasons to defeat for the team from Côte d'Azur. In spite of that, I think there will be break that, and Nice will be win in Rennes. Stade Rennais, Nice odds, Nice winning odds 2.10.
Well, the dream to play in the Champions League for Nice is very, very close. Both teams to score an over 2.5 goals for limited benefits. Toulouse Lens is the next one. Here is a chill, nothing to play for game. Toulouse beat Rennes in the last game, so they are going to stay in Ligue 1. And Lens got this very big surprise, beating Lyon away. They won 3 out of the last 4. Including Lyon, including Marseille, and I guess, Alain, if you want to make some money in this game, perhaps you can try even Lens to win again here.
Yes. The fact I choose that odds, because at the end, Lens is the third best away team since the beginning of the season. First Paris Saint-Germain, second Marseille, and third Lens. Is strange. It's strange because normally Lens at home is really strong, and is for the poor average of point at home. There will be, don't go back to Europe, because at home only 20 points, and when they played away, 28 points, 8 points more when they played away. Toulouse signs 4-5 weeks. Toulouse has no ambition to Europe. Their save the category is the end of an era of Martinez in the bench, and we saw a team with poor motivation in the last weeks. Away that they catch the best results. It's true they won against Stade Rennais in the last game, but before they lose 5 and they draw 1 in the last 6, only 1 point. And I think the manager asked a reaction about the grade of motivation and the attitude in the field. For that game, I think Toulouse is Lens is favorite. I not agree the odds, the value of the odds. For that reason, I choose Lens winning odds 3.27.
Yeah, well, I read your mind. Alain, next one, Montpellier PSG. So here, nothing to play for. Imagine there is 62-point difference between these two teams. Montpellier going to Ligue 2. PSG absolutely relaxed in Ligue 1 because they are preparing the Champions League and the games against Arsenal and even the Coupe de France final. Right now, the only team with options for a treble, Alain. So goals, no, would be a good option, I guess, here.
Yes, I choose both teams to score because I think Montpellier is able to score against Paris Saint-Germain. Paris Saint-Germain will be if Paris Saint-Germain qualify for the final, if Paris Saint-Germain don't qualify for the final, the grade of motivation was the same. I think is a team will be mega a lot of turnover, and Montpellier is the last game in Ligue 1 for Montpellier. It's sad because it's an historical of Ligue 1. Montpellier is with Lille is the only team can be won a league against the Qatari Paris Saint-Germain with Giroud and Belhanda in that generation, and Montpellier in the season where they make his 50th anniversary, there will be go back to the Ligue 2, but that one is a really bad news. And we hope Montpellier will become back. Paris Saint-Germain in the last game in Strasbourg, we saw with Enrique Mega a big turnover, a massive turnover. The young player have talent, but is not the quality of they don't have the quality about the 11 start, and that one what means they concede Montpellier wanna go in the best way and said bye to the Liga in the best way, and for that reason I choose both team to score odds 1.70.
PSG to win and over 2.5 goals, also for Stefan. Probably it doesn't pay too much as well because PSG to win is only 1.2. Next one is Brest Lille. Here is important for Lille, level on points with Nice and with Strasbourg, so fighting to play again in the Champions League after the draw against OM. They are in good form, 10 points out of the last 12, and they play against Brest, nothing to play for. Also a team that played a great season, historical season for them playing Champions League. And last one is against Reims, Alain. So should we trust Lille to win both games and qualify for the Champions League?
They deserve because the season is brilliant. The worst moment about Lille, I think, is in direct relationship with the trauma about the elimination against Dortmund, because after the draw in Germany, Lille was confident, was arrived to this game with positive mind, but that they understand some things. At this level, you need experience, and Lille don't have that grade of experience than have Dortmund. And after that, we saw a little sad, but Genesio correct that. And the last weeks about Lille are good in the line of the beginning of the season, in the average of point in the last 4 game, 10 point to 12. The draw against Marseille is a very good result, and their travel to Brest with positivity. At the end, Lille right now is, in my opinion, deserve to win, and Lille, since Brest is back in Ligue 1, Lille suffer normally in Brest. We must to go back to the 2013 to watch Lille won a game in Bretagne, and is another motivation for Lille to break that bad record in when they travel in Bretagne. And in my opinion, Lille is really favorite for this game, and I choose Lille winning odds 1.83.
Both teams to score for Mustafa and for limited benefits in this game. And last one, unfortunately, you mentioned it. Saint-Etienne, Reims Saint-Etienne is the last game, could be the penultimate game for 𝗵𝗵𝗏 in Ligue 1. Again, risking relegation, another defeat last weekend to Monaco, before that to Strasbourg after winning the derby against Lyon. So they are 4 points away from Le Havre. Basically, they must win here and they must beat Toulouse at home in the last match day. But first of all, Alain, winning here.
Yes, I trust in Saint-Etienne. I trust in Saint-Etienne to watch Saint-Etienne catch 6 points in the last two journey. But after we must to watch how many points do Le Havre, and it's difficult for Saint-Etienne because after they'll be back to the Ligue 1 this season. When you are playing away, when you are only some 6 points away since the beginning of the season, is difficult to pretend save the category. And the average of goal received is so poor. Is so poor. The game of Saint-Etienne are funny because we saw goals. Saint-Etienne wanna play football. It's not a team put the low block and wait the rival. No, they wanna play, but they concede so much. They concede so much. And since the beginning of the season, we have good results about the prediction of Saint-Etienne with the goal market, and it's still the last journey against Monaco. We give good prediction. Now against Reims is for the nostalgical fans of French football. During decade, Rennes Saint-Etienne was the unique team arrived to a final of Champions League. Rennes against the first Real Madrid at the beginning of the Champions League, and Saint-Etienne in the 70s. Saint-Etienne made dreaming all the French in the 70s and at the beginning of the 80s, and search our past. But now the risk about go back to Ligue 2 is really high, but there need to win this game to conserve some option to save the category. Reims is already saved. Reims made a really bad season. Reims, the focus is on the final of Coupe de France because they will play against Paris Saint-Germain, and it can be something historical to win again 60 years after. Is something historical for us. The focus will be in the final of the Champions League. Probably there will be make turnover. And in my opinion, Saint-Etienne arrive with good motivation. For that reason, I choose the double chance X2 odds 1.70.
Okay, well, this is it. We have Ian over 3 goals. For me, I'm banking on that. A lot of pressure for Saint-Etienne leading Ligue 1. Well, you can place your tips in Oddspedia or post your tips in Oddspedia and win up to 1,000 euros in our tipster competitions. Or also you are seeing now rivals. There you go, tipster competitions, where you can win some money. You have the terms and conditions in each of those pages, and also rivals, just to create your tipster competition and play with your friends, or you can join a created one. Well, Alain, only 2 games left, match days left in this Ligue 1, so this is your penultimate safe bet. Let's go for it.
Saint-Etienne over 2.25 goals odds 1.48.
And the ACCA?
Angers, Strasbourg winning. Le Havre, OM winning. Stade Rennais, Nice over 1.75 goals for a total 3.92.
I must say, Alain, now that we are getting very close to the end of the season, that your stats in Ligue 1 are just amazing this season. I don't know how many ACCAs you hit, and some weeks the predictions were almost perfect, actually, all of them.
Thank
so
you.
Let's hope for the best in this penultimate match day.
I use your magical balls. I use the 𝐬𝐴Du magical balls. I can say to the audience, if you need the magical balls of 𝐬𝐴Du, you can buy that. in eBay, and you will be have a lot of success.
Hopefully. Well, thank you, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. See you next week. Alain, bye bye.
Ciao.